other moves. And just like every Pokemon has a type, every move has a type of its own. Some moves, it's pretty obvious why they are the type they are, like Leaf Blade. We all know why that's a grass type move, I don't really need to explain that to you. Some moves take a little more creativity to justify, and some moves just are the wrong type, period. So I'm going to be counting down the top 10 Mistyped moves. I rate these moves based on how much they make sense to be the type that they are, and also, this is my opinion, pretty much. So if you disagree, be sure to leave a comment. And with that out of the way, here are the top 10 Mistyped moves. Drop Kick is a grass-type move introduced in Generation 7, exclusively available to Serena. When you look at this move's description, it says, the user lands an intense kick of tropical origins on the target. First of all, what the heck does that mean? It sounds like, like a certain set of martial arts where you say, oh yes, this originated in Japan, or this was from Korea, or something like that. It sounds like the type of kick this is came from somewhere in the tropics. It's not qualifying enough to be a grass-type move. Unless it's a kick with grass of some sort, and then I don't really know. I get that the whole tropical idea thing makes it seem a lot like a grass type move, and it does kind of make sense a little bit. Which is why it's only number 10 on this list. But really, I feel like it's a kick. This should really be more like a fighting type move. And when I hear about drop kick, I think of somebody flipping over and kicking someone from above, and it has just nothing to do with grass in my opinion. Introduced in Generation 2, I think. The move's description is, the user rampages and attacks for 2 to 3 turns, and then becomes confused. Basically, you'd think this was a fighting type move, right? Nope, wrong, it's a normal type. And while it kind of could make sense for a normal type, it makes me wonder why. There are animations of this move that show a bunch of fists and feet. You'd think that was a fighting type move. I mean, it should be if the user is just rampaging and attacking. That sounds like fighting, right? But no, it's a normal move. And again, I guess I can kind of see why, considering Gyarados can use this move, and Gyarados doesn't have any arms or legs to punch or kick with. Come to think of it, how does Gyarados use this move? I don't really know. Especially with a move like Thrash, which I did look it up, and it needs to violently hit or attack somebody. It makes more sense for this move to be a fighting type. Now, a really good move to use when you have a really heavy Pokemon is Heavy Slam. And that's because the more weight the Pokemon has on you, the greater the power of the move is. In fact, it's described as the user slams into the target with its heavy body. So, naturally, they give it the Steel typing. I don't see what's so natural about that, though. Why? Are all Steel-type Pokemon heavy? Is Steel heavy or something? Where's the justification for that? It's not there. This probably should just be a normal type move, because it's the same thing as Body Slam, except it's more power the more the Pokemon weighs. Body Slam is a normal type move. Why isn't this a normal type move? Why is it a Steel type move? It's not like only Steel types can learn it. One of the newer moves on this list is Beak Blast, which is basically a move where the user heats up its beak, waits for the other. Basically, this move is basically the user heats up its beak, wait for its opponent to attack, and then it attacks somehow. Maybe with like a flash from its beak, I don't really know. And I get why this would be a flying type move, because beaks belong on birds. The thing is that if a Pokemon were to come in direct contact with the user while this move is being used, it gets burned, and it's heating up its beak and blasting it. Doesn't that sound more like a fire type move? Flying type moves are like moves you do in the air, or moves that involve wind, and there's nothing about this that's flying type except for the fact that it's a beak. They probably should have called it something different, because the Japanese translation is literally beak cannon. It's more like a fire type move. Another new move introduced in Generation 7 is Smart Strike. Now, Smart Strike is described as the user stabs the target with a sharp horn. There's another move that does that, and that's Mega Horn, which is a bug type move. So you'd think that Smart Strike would be a bug type move as well. But no, it's a steel type move, which I don't get at all because... When was the last time you saw a steel type Pokemon with horns? Why is this a steel type move? There's absolutely no justification for that at all. If anything, it should probably be a bug type move because of the horn. Yes, there are horns on deer like Hornleech, but at least that makes some sense. Whereas this is just like the horn comes out of nowhere, and there is nothing in this move that would make it a steel type. So why is it a steel type move? Cram Hammer was a move introduced in Generation 1. This move is basically exclusive to crab type Pokemon, where basically it just takes its giant claw thing and just boom, 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 boom. So why is it a water type move? Yeah, I get the reasoning behind it, like, okay, it goes to crabs, and crabs are in the water. But there's no reason for this to be a water-type move. It has nothing to do with the water. There's nothing about this move that would actually make it do more damage to a fire-type and less damage to a grass-type. Therefore, it should not be a water-type move, it should be a normal-type move. Another Generation 7 move that has no reason for being the type it is First Impression. Now this is a move exclusive to Golisopod, and basically what this move is that you have to use this on the first turn. It's got great power, but you gotta use it on the first turn. That's why it's called First Impression. And that is pretty much it. That's what the description of the move is. Honestly, they only really made this a bug type move just because it's Golisopod's signature move, and so you could get stab out of it. That's not good enough! This really shouldn't be a bug type move, this should be a normal type move because there's nothing that qualifies it to be something exclusive to bugs or anything really. But First Impression, there is nothing about bugs in that move at all, so it really shouldn't be a bug type move. Did you know that Head Smash is a rock type move? I didn't either until I came up with this list. Just imagine my surprise. I'm just looking through. Oh, look, here's this Head Smash. Rock type? How is it a rock type move? It's not like only rock type Pokemon can learn this move. There are several Pokemon that aren't rock types that can learn this move. And it's described as attacking the target with a hazardous full-powered headbutt. You know what that sounds like? Headbutt. It also has nothing to do with rocks. So why is this a rock type move? Why would it be effective against ice? Why would it be really effective against a bird? I don't really understand it at all. I mean, have you ever tried to headbutt a bird? Like everything else on this list, there's no reason for this to be a rock type move. Now here's a move that I hadn't even heard of before making this list, and that is Stomping Tantrum. It's basically what it sounds like. Driven by frustration, the user attacks the target. If the user's previous move has failed, the power of this move doubles. So basically like throwing a tantrum. And it's a ground type move. Why? In fact, a lot of the Pokemon that can learn this move are fighting types. So shouldn't this be a fighting type move? Considering that you're using physical attacks to take out the target, which doesn't even explain how it's attacking the target. It just says it attacks the target, and since I didn't even know this was a move, I can't even see the animation for it because I have no idea what that is. It really sounds more like not a ground type move. This has nothing to do with the ground. It's more like you're fighting, so it should be a fighting type move. Twister is a move that I hadn't really thought about not being a dragon type move until I made this list. And then I looked at the description. The user whips up a vicious tornado to tear at the opposing Pokemon. What about tornadoes make it dragon type? In the anime, you see Gyarados using Dragon Rage, which is a Twister for some reason, and a lot of dragon Pokemon know it, but that's probably because it's a dragon type move. But the thing about Twister is if you use it while your opponent's using Fly, or Bounce, or Skydrop, or something along the lines of that, it does double the damage. And especially when it uses the word a vicious tornado. That sounds like it's doing something with the air. Isn't this better set as a flying type move? But we also see in the anime several Pokemon like Milotic using a water Twister. And yes, that can actually happen in the real world, but that sounds like more of the you could do in real life that you couldn't really do in the games. When I look this move over again, it sounds like it just should be a flying type move. And well, those are the top 10 mistyped Pokemon moves. Did you agree? Did I miss a move? Is there something you think that's mistyped that I don't think is mistyped or something along those lines? Please put your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you left a like. I would also appreciate it if you subscribed, especially if you want to see more Pokemon content. Also, this video does have a Twitter account. Go follow it at VisitJumpVideos. And that's going to be it for this video, so I will catch you later.